यस.
झालं का तिकडे?
Yes, start.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to welcome you all to this Perceptive EduTalk. Active Teachers Maharashtra Insights to provide platform to educators, parents, and students to find out fruitful path to sustain learning in this pandemic situation too. So I would like to call upon Mr. Vikram Arsul, Coordinator, ATM Maharashtra, to put forth his intuitions towards his EduTalk. Vikram Dada. Vikram Dada.
सभी साथियों को नमस्कार.
बोला
वर्ड पे ये कोरोना महामारी का जो संकट है, ये संकट हम सबके लिए बहुत ही खतरनाक पड़, और उसके वजह से पूरे देश भर में स्कूल हो रहे हैं. महाराष्ट्र में भी हॉटस्पॉट बन गया है महाराष्ट्र. तो एक्टिव टीचर महाराष्ट्र और निशंक, ये जो दो जोज है, इन्होंने ऐसा तय किया कि इन छुट्टियों में, इन पीरियड में क्यों ना स्टूडेंट्स के लिए हमने शिक्षण संवाद नाम का एक प्रोग्राम किया है. कोरोना पीरियड में चलता रहेगा. कल का पहला सेशन जो था वो एटीएम के राज्य सह संयोजक और ले लिया. आज का जो सेशन है वो नदीम खान भंडारा से वो ले लेंगे. एक्टिव टीचर्स महाराष्ट्र और निशंक, ये दोनों के माध्यम से कार्यक्रम जो चल रहा है, कार्यक्रम आप सभी लिए ये कोरोना पीरियड में चालू होगा. बाकी प्रोग्राम के अंत में मैं आपसे 2 मिनट बात करूंगा. मैं अभी आज के जो एंकर है प्रदीप देवरे, इनसे मैं कहता हूं कि आप प्रोग्राम.
Thank you, Dada. Thank you. Okay, welcome back. Today is the second interlocution on online teaching in the times of Corona with an eminent orator, Mr. Nadeem Khan, the state coordinator of CHESS project and also the coordinator of an online ETF, board of studies member for Bal Bharati and treasurer for INET. We are privileged to have an opportunity to listen him in this evening. On behalf of ATM, I welcome you, Nadeem sir. Welcome to this interlocution.
Thank you.
Without wasting my time, I'm going to hand over this session, and we are excited to listen you very much.
Nadeem, thank you very much, sir.
Hand over this session, and we are excited to listen you very much.
Just like in the classroom, there are different. Thank you very much, sir. Different grades, students, and schools require different learning approaches.
Hand over this
there is no single solution to the holy grail. Thank you very much, sir. Remote learning, the online teaching, just like in the classroom, there are different. Thank you very much, sir. Different grades, the times of students, Corona. and schools require different learning approaches.
hand over this
There is no single solution
and
to the holy
we are
grail. What works for you very much for remote learning, the online teaching, and just like in the classroom, there are different. Thank you very much, sir. Different grades, times of students through planning, and some schools require different learning approaches. There is no single solution to the holy grail. What works for you very much for remote learning, the online teaching, and just like in the classroom, there are different grades, times of students through planning, and some schools require different learning approaches. There is no single solution to the holy grail. What works for you very much online remote learning, the online teaching, just like in the classroom, there are different grades, times of students through planning, and some schools require different learning approaches. There is no single solution to the holy grail. What works for you very much online remote learning, the online teaching, just like in the classroom, there are different grades, times of students through planning, and some schools require different learning approaches. There is no single solution to the holy grail. What works for you very much online teaching about online teaching, just like in the classroom, there are different grades, times of students through planning, and some schools require different learning approaches. There is no single solution to the holy grail. What works for you very much online teaching about online teaching, just like in the classroom, there are different grades, times of students through planning, and some schools require different learning approaches. There is no single solution to the holy grail. What works for you very much online teaching about online teaching, just like in the classroom, there are different grades, times of students. Okay. Planning, and some schools require different learning approaches. There is no single solution to the holy grail. What works for you very much online teaching about online teaching, just like in the classroom, there are different. Okay, no problem. Let's come back to the slide. Am I okay now, or is there still problem of echo? Admin sir, waiting for your response.
Yes.
Now it's okay. Now
it's okay.
Yeah. Solve.
Okay, thank you. So see, we are dealing with technology, and like this session, we were about to start at 7, but there were some connectivity issues. Like we are working collaboratively from different places, so all these things come. So this is a great lesson for all of us, because technology teaches things right on time. So I was talking about the online teaching and learning. So there are two types. One is synchronous. Students who are working with you in the live class. That is a concurrent meeting going on. That we call a synchronous live class. Asynchronous means you can use different tools, videos, or materials that you have created with your students using the technology. So these are two things. There are some requirements for the synchronous teaching. We will see first. We will see the asynchronous teaching later. There are some hardware and software requirements for this. You need a good laptop or PC so that you run smoothly. You need a good web camera. Seeing you, they keep listening you very carefully. So listen overall visuals in the live classroom. The softwares which you can use, or the applications which you can use for the synchronous teaching, are very popular applications I'm citing here. WhatsApp, then the Zoom app, then the Microsoft Teams app, the Google Forms, then Office 365, the entire subscription. It comes with the MS Office like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, then OneNote to plan and work accordingly, the forms. You also need a PDF reader. Now in Office 365, you can convert the pages into PDF. but the all mobiles or all the devices, they are not able to read. Maybe sometimes it happens they don't have the proper compatibility or the application to open these office files. So we should have a PDF reader, and while sharing we should share all the files in the document as well as the PDF format. Then there are different online applications or platforms which allow you to create some quizzes. This is for evaluation and assessment, like Testmos. A lot of teachers I have seen are using Testmos. Kahoot is a very fun learning assessment tool. Seesaw, then Edpuzzle. Edpuzzle is a tool using which you can convert any video to lesson, and there are different analytics you are getting. Like if you have assigned any video to your class on Edpuzzle, it uses the Edmodo account. You can evaluate how much time the student is spending on that video, how much time he's paying attention, and you can also enable the function that they cannot skip that part of the video which you want them to see. Also, you can include the quizzes in your Edpuzzle videos. I will share one video of Edpuzzle with you right now, and this is only 1 minute video. See how Edpuzzle works.
Want to create amazing video lessons in minutes? Edpuzzle is your missing piece. With Edpuzzle.
Okay, I've stopped the share. We will continue with the slide. There are sound issues, so we don't want to waste our time. So let's go back to our slide. So I was talking about these softwares and applications. Now let's come to the live class. Many of us are doing live classes with our students, and we are on a learning curve. So this is a stage, like I have already mentioned, like a migration from the classroom to the online, and it is very tough for your students as well. So these are the fantastic fours, I call them, these four platforms of live classes. You are very familiar with the Zoom, then comes the Microsoft Teams, very reliable, the Google Hangouts, and the Cisco WebEx. There are some more kind of live classes platforms. These live class tools. So let's see these four in detail. What do they do? The Zoom. Zoom is a robust software designed exclusively for video conferencing, and a lot of universities, corporate groups, even schools were using Zoom. I have used where because there were some security concerns with the Zoom, and a lot of people they joined the Zoom, but a lot of old practitioners, they migrated from Zoom to other platforms like Google Hangout Meets. Microsoft Teams is a very good platform, and WebEx. In Teams, it's a different kind of setup. It's a different learning ecosystem, I can say, where you can integrate all other applications, and it's like your own class online going on. So it's not just like a video conferencing. So there is a different, a unique kind of experience a student gets when you are dealing with them using the Microsoft Teams. Now let's compare the features. Like there is a lot of talk about what we are using, Zoom or Teams. So there are certain features, and no one is at disadvantage. Both are like equally competitive. Screen share option is there in Zoom and Teams. For gallery view, there in Zoom you can see multiple screens, all users. But in Microsoft Teams, you have only four windows, videos coming over your screen in the gallery view. But MS Teams is now looking to scale it up. Annotate. Annotate means if you are sharing to write anything on the whiteboard, you can give them the control and they can write over the whiteboard. So it's a good collaboration, good live class, like the traditional class going on. Very breakout rooms before the meeting starts, or you can create the breakout rooms while the meeting is underway. And these Zoom has no video editor facility, Teams has a video editor facility. So all these things are about the Zooms and Teams, and how we are going to use this in these current times. Now, speaking about the asynchronous classes, we have other tools like MS Office, different social media platforms, YouTube videos, Google Images. There are some resources, websites like dictionary.com, 2Phonetics, which offers international phonetic alphabet. Now, let's speak about the low resources online teaching. In these times of Corona, the students who are privileged to have a mobile device or laptop at their home, they're joining and they're doing these classes. But there is a learning loss where there are students who can't afford to have these data connection and these what I can say, these Android phones. So speaking about such students who are such learners who are at the bottom of the pyramid, I can say like we can simplify the curricula and modify our learning goals. See, our curriculum does not cater to the needs or the present times when Corona has taken over all the world. So there is an urgent need to simplify our curricula, our textbooks, our course goals, and a lot of PDF sharing, PDF book sharing is there. But we can request or we can talk to the authorities so that all the printed books can reach to the students. I'm talking about the students of government schools. They get books every year. Then you can use a good use. You can make a good use of radio, television, and SMS to amplify learning. See, television is not in our hands, but we can talk to our authorities in district to start a community radio. Community radio is an old concept, but in these times of Corona, this can prove very, very crucial. See, there is entire process for giving permission to start a community radio station, and every community radio station caters to around people in around 10 to 15 square kilometers radius. But as an association, like we have Active Teachers Maharashtra, there are many associations. We can talk to the CEOs and we can get this process done very soon, and we can start the community radio. We can run the audio classes using the community radio. We can use the SMS. How, I will tell you later in the next presentation. There is one very underutilized resource, that is parents. They are major stakeholders, but in these tough times, parents have realized that it is very tough to teach their own words. It is not very easy. It is very difficult. So we can talk to the parents over phone and get their engagement in their words learning. That's very important, but I would say very underutilized resource, the parents. So they can come and help. Finally, we have to reduce the learning loss that's happening, and we have to prepare for the learning recovery. So when the schools reopen, how we are going to cope up? with these things. There is one tool called Microsoft Teams, a platform. I'm using Microsoft Teams with my learners, and uh, the first 4 days, I didn't start any lesson. I teach English to 12th standard grades. So the first 4 days were like orientation, how to deal with technology. So there are certain difficulties which every student has to overcome because they know how to use other apps. Like they are literate about technology, but they are not literate about educational technology. So that thing is very important. Speaking about the very low resources situations, we can create our own videos and we can screencast them, or we can upload it on our cloud space or the YouTube, and we can share the link through SMS. Audio is a very good resource. There are textbooks, stories are there. You can do storytelling. You can create your own audio clips and share the links on WhatsApp groups. If your students do not have the WhatsApp, then even the geofficial phone has a WhatsApp. That's why I'm telling this. Even if they don't have, suppose they have a dumb phone, no smartphone, no feature phone, so you can upload your audio and then share the link on SMS. So this is a kind of adaptation according to the resources. We can utilize and exploit the textbooks very well. These all things we are coping up in the situations of Corona. So it's not like a solid textbook in our hand. We are not dealing with a solid textbook in the brick and mortar classroom. So the context has changed to adapt to the new context. Quizzes, I made a reference to Testmos, Quizlet, and Kahoot. You can create quizzes. A lot of teachers over this time have created quizzes and sent across the social media platforms. Then video making is a good tool to get delivered the content to the students. So there are three techniques of making video making. One is the piece to camera, that you have proper tripod, you have proper lighting, and the whiteboard or the green screen, and then you have a cameraman who is operating, or somebody, your colleague, who is supporting you, and then you talk in front of the camera using the microphone, and the microphone is attached to your collar. Do this in news channels, you see. Then you can record your own class in front of a whiteboard. Then there is other technique called green screen videos. See, a lot of things I am mentioning, a lot of things I have tried. That's why I have mentioned here. And this is like from my perspective, I use some kinds of things, not all of them. But there are different applications and tutorials. You can visit YouTube, and you can, if you search for how to do a piece to camera, or like how to do a green screen video, so you can get n number of tutorials that can guide you better. See, one use of green screen that one of my friends did was he wore a green So he wore a green t-shirt and he replaced that green area with the anatomy and physiology of human body. So that innovative things you have to bring in. Next, there are some other resources. Use the content that is already available, like all language books, all social studies books, and all content books like science. Then create video clips, upload it, and share. Or you can create audio clips for stories or for poems, verses. If you're good at recording things and your voice is you are ready to do some voice modulation, you can invite your colleagues to do a podcast. Now, what is a podcast? Podcast, there is a site called anchor.fm. It's Android application also. You can invite your co-host or a fellow teacher, and then you can discuss on any one topic, maybe question and answer kind of thing, and then you can upload it on the anchor.fm and share the link via SMS or via social media. So all things get uploaded on the anchor.fm, and the uh, good thing is that it's free. They don't charge anything from you for the podcasts. Otherwise, all other services of podcasts are chargeable. For evaluation and assessments, you can use Testmos or the what I can say the other. There are different challenges in using all these resources. But the first tip from me to you is it will take time. Okay. It will take time to start teaching online, and it will take time to start learning online for your learners. So understand this very first thing, that all of these things will take some time, and then you will try to do it. See, we introduced Zoom in our chess project in Maharashtra 3 years back, and a lot of people are now using Zoom. So unless you have the need, you don't use it. So these are some tips from my side. While teaching online, you have to have a good data connection and good headsets. Start slowly. Don't go too fast at the beginning. And whatever instructions you are giving, give clearly. For giving tips about how to learn online and how to do these things. You can practice the mute, unmute, camera on off, or type or chat or raise hand or ask questions. Such etiquettes and such you can practice this at the very beginning. When you are dealing with class, there are always 4 to 5 students or some bunch of students who are very active. So give equal opportunity to them. Before you start meeting, you have to see that the background you have is still, it's calm, and nobody is disturbing your background. And whenever you are sitting, you have to sit cozily, comfortably, so that you can talk well, sit well for a long duration. One thing is that you have to maintain the webcam, you have to set the webcam in proper angle. See, the COVID-19, there are some questions coming up there in the Facebook Live, but I will finish and then I will talk to you. When see these things are very professional, and we are not very professional. We are teachers and we are humans. So when we are looking, when we are having a live class, we have to look at the camera lens, and that was I'm not doing until now. So when we talk and look at the camera lens, the audience or the learners feel that whatever they're taking directly from sir or the teacher or the madam. So before starting, you can have a dry run before going online for the first time. You can practice with your colleagues. While talking online, you have to use gestures and facial expressions so that it shouldn't become mechanical talk. Voice modulation is very crucial when you give instructions also, because they should understand proper instruction. Uh, Take feedback when you are sharing screen. Ask whether the screen is visible or not. Or sometimes there are some technical snacks and you go on talking and sharing screen slides, swapping slides, and nothing is visible. So always take feedback, like if you are audible or not, if a screen is visible or not. Always speak in mic and leave it untouched, because a lot of people feel that they are not audible and then they try touching their mics. So that creates a noise. and this kind of noise can harm your live classes. Have all shareables ready before the live class. And sometimes what happens when you are sharing the screen, the file you had opened for sharing is not visible there. So that is one thing. So you have to be cautious about what windows you are going to share and keep only those windows open. Call it a day if you are having a bad network day. Sometimes you start in a good mood, you are set the momentum, you are in class, and suddenly there are calls from people, and your mobile data is getting engaged to those calls, and after that you don't recover, and the data fails to move smoothly, seamlessly. So these problems can happen, and don't get nervous in such times, and you can call off the class, no problem. Always have a plan B ready. So if you call off any class, you can have a set of tests or quizzes ready which you can send them. So that you can do. And last is we all are teachers. We shouldn't forget this. So we always learn in community. Now I'm giving you one example. I was using Zooms earlier, but now I use Microsoft Teams. Teams is an app which I feel very confident now. Zoom is very easy, no doubt. But when I'm dealing with my students, I'm cautious about the security, and I'm cautious about the learning, if learning is really happening or not. So Microsoft Teams give you an learning ecosystem, a learning ecosystem where they can get assignments. You can track their assignments. You can share the writables, words, documents with them. You can share quizzes. You can have entire activities a teacher can do in a classroom online. So in the times of Corona, what I did, I created a WhatsApp group. I sent a message that, okay, we are going to start now with online teaching learning. Now 12th standard textbook is out. I shared the I created a form, Google and Microsoft kind of form. I shared the form link in that group and asked them to fill the form. It had entries like, do you have the Android phone? Do you have any other feature phone? If you don't have, can you manage the Android phone from any of your neighbors or relatives or people in your home for 1 hour at least for that class? So uh, almost 80% of students in my class, they had Android phones, but the 20% they managed. And like there are restricted movements, but still people can go to other people, not in the market, other people's home, and some students are sitting together and they are doing this activity together. So that's very encouraging for me. I would also tell you the use of OneNote. OneNote is again a Microsoft application. I will show you how I plan my OneNote. You can see this is the planning. These are the days, like this is about my lesson plan for 12th. These are the different steps that I followed. The teachers, as a teacher, you can see there are different stages of teaching, like pre, while, post, and I was able to carry on all the activities which I plan in the classroom in some with some limit. You can't have all the activities there in online class. So I made use of book PDF, then PPT as a whiteboard. I shared the screen of my PowerPoint application, and I used that blank as a whiteboard. So for learning vocabulary and using words in own words, understanding the form, meaning, and use of the words, that was very helpful. Then creating exercise links like Testmos, Forms, Kahoot. There are some assignments that are inbuilt in the Microsoft Teams app. So I hope you are able to see this. I also used YouTube videos when I was teaching the online, teaching the speech writing. Okay, so and I created different handouts for guiding the students to how to write a speech, different tips. So all these things went on smoothly. The earlier 4 days that were like a learning curve for me as well as my students. So we learned a lot of things. We also developed the speech structure, like what should be there in the beginning, what should be there in the main part, and what should be there in the concluding part. We all did it collaboratively together online using Microsoft Teams and the PowerPoint presentation app, PPT, MS PowerPoint. Again, you can use the whiteboard very effectively for eliciting responses. You can give them the rights to annotate. All these things were continue going on, and they are still going on. And in these difficult times, it is not very smooth transition. Like I use technology, I know these things, so that was easy for me. But my teachers, my colleague friends, they are also struggling to do this. So every day we talk to number of people. Like people call me to know about these tools, and I call my friends who know, who are experts, educators, online educators, well known. So I learn from them, and people learn from me. So it's like a community learning, and that's going on. And this should never stop, even if the corona time is over. So that was all from my side. Any questions?
Okay, thank you, Nadim sir. Hello, can you hear Nadim sir?
Yes.
Yeah, very nicely shared your crucial findings, and you have counted both the resourceful and low resourceful classrooms, or the pupils who have less number of resources. They can also learn in this period also. So you have opted all the types of synchronous and asynchronous classrooms, as well as you shown us different types of teaching tools for less number of resources and who have enough resources, as well as there is the assessment tools also, a lot of quiz tools, as well as Kahoot is the very best gamification tool, and it is very interesting. I am using it. And last one, you have given the tips too. How being a human, we should have be careful and very curious, cautious about using these technological gadgets. Thank you for that. In spite of this, I would like to raise some questions on behalf of the rest of the educators. First question I would like to ask you, we keep reading about security reasons for the online teaching. Do you think this is the major threat for online teaching?
See, sir, security, whenever there is a technology, wherever there is use of technology, security concerns are always there. Zoom was very open until now. There were some features, like if you share the link with anyone, and he is good enough, he has a sound knowledge of how to do Zoom bombing. Now, Zoom bombing is a term where what happens? The hackers, they get your link, they come to your Zoom meeting, and they take all control in their hand, and then they can do whatever they like. They can share whatever they want to share, or they can spoil your as well a couple of days back. But the government of India, the Center for Internet and Computing, has released an advisory for use of Zoom, and for educational purpose, it's okay with the adult learners, because we know how to deal with these things. But when we are dealing with the students, I would recommend not to use Zoom. And even if you are using Zoom, you have to enable the waiting room. Like nobody can peep in or jump in your meeting directly without your permission using the link. And always set difficult passwords. Then you can lock the meeting as well. So these things are very important. And security concerns. Even there was a news about selling of the private information by Zoom to the third party. So that happens. And Cambridge Analytica kind of things have taught us not to share information over internet. So if you are planning a Zoom meeting, so make sure that you have made all the security arrangements given in the advisory of Zoom as well as the government of India. So for online teaching, Zoom is a kind of help, but you have to use that tool wisely. Yes, sir.
Okay. You mean that with the help of some secure settings, we can use Zoom too?
Yeah.
Yeah. My second question is that you have mentioned about Zoom and Microsoft Teams, Google Hangouts, and WebEx. Which one is the better tool for online teaching?
That's a very tricky question. I was using Zoom since last 3 years. I still use Zoom for my trainer friends who are teacher trainers. But for when I was using with my class, my learners, we began with NITs to girl students. But in between, there were certain issues with the app, Microsoft Teams app. It was in the update. And I used Zoom for 2 days. You can't believe me. I got phones from all of the parents that why you are using Zoom? Why don't you get shifted to Microsoft Teams? So see, we are all aware and we are concerned about that teaching should not stop, learning should not stop. But these parents are also reading a lot of things about these things, these technology on this Corona times. They are very well aware. So I would go for Microsoft Teams, my personal favorite.
Okay. Apart from this, I would like to ask the last question, and then we will get questions from the outsiders. What is the greatest lesson you have learned during this pandemic?
Yeah, very good question. See, I have said that we are humans, and these are the tough times we are facing in the times of Corona. There are advantages and disadvantages. We have learned many things. We have learned hygiene, technology, but there are certain lessons, certain takeaways for me are that everything can be learned, nothing is impossible. We can learn how to stay indoors. We can learn how to teach our own children, and we can learn how to cope up with these difficult circumstances. So as a teacher, my greatest takeaway is it takes time to learn, and we should give everybody the due time to learn and catch up all these things.
Very nice, sir. I think if you are the optimistic, you can do everything. Nothing is difficult to you. And whether there is any situation, you can adapt if you have that approach. Thank you, sir. Some people are asking a question. Praveen Shinde is from Nashik and he is asking you, elaborate the tool Seesaw.
See, Seesaw is a tool which you can use for evaluation. There are many platforms that have been developed in last 1 year. Seesaw is one of them. You can, it's the participation of students in Seesaw goes on increasing when they are using it. It's kind of creating a digital portfolio and simple parent communication. So it's like Seesaw and Flipgrid and Nearpod and Microsoft Teams. These four tools have changed the entire online teaching learning scenario in last 1 year. Or I'm familiar with all these tools. I went familiar in last 1 year also. Maybe there are people who are using these tools from more than 1 year. So it's a power. Seesaw creates a very powerful learning loop between students, teachers, and families. So when I said that we can utilize the underutilized resource, that is parents, there comes in the Seesaw. And Seesaw is a great tool for integration. And the parents, they can see how their wards are learning and engaging with the activities that are going on in the school. So Seesaw is very helpful, no doubt.
You have mentioned Flipgrid and Kahoot.
Yeah.
I am also using Flipgrid, and
I know you are very expert in.
Thank you. I would like to ask you. Nowadays, Flipgrid also launched learning from home for the families too. Means they reach to the parents too. Will you tell some tips for Flipgrid to our audience?
Pradeep sir, have I lost you? Pradeep sir?
Hello.
Can you repeat your question? I lost. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell some more about Flipgrid? Because the Flipgrid has launched learning for families too, parents too.
Yeah, see, sir, Flipgrid for me, you are better person to tell about Flipgrid. But for reflection from my learners, Flipgrid is a thing where I can create video, or we can create video. Even the students can participate. We can an image or any short video, even our recordings, and then we can share it. And the students, they also create the videos, they join in and they share their feedback. So for reflection, I have used Flipgrid, and it worked well with the shy learners as well. With parents, I want you to elaborate on.
Yeah, I know, sir. It is very useful tool to explore the students. One more question from Prakash Chavan, sir. It is about MS Teams, but we are getting late. So I'm going to conclude the today's program. We have very nice talk with you. And in nutshell, we have great challenges along with opportunities. And to cope up with these inevitable situations, only need is our optimistic approach. And I am hopeful we definitely accept the challenges to sustain learning, to enlighten thousands of souls. And now I would like to call Mr. Vikram, sir. And before that, I'm very grateful and thankful on behalf of ATM to Nadeem, sir. Thank you very much, Mr. Vikram.
Thank you, sir.
Please announce the next announcement. Mr. Vikram, sir.
Nadeem, sir.
I just want to say that you are not alone. We are all together.
Yeah.
And ATM, what punchline is one for all for one. We are all one.
Yes.
नदीम सर आणि
Over to you. Thank you very much.
आपण दोघांना खूपच सुंदर असं सेशन घेतलं. अगदी तंत्रज्ञानातील बारीक सारीक बारकावे, त्याचबरोबर कोणते ऍप्स वापरावेत, कौन से ऐप्स यूज करना चाहिए, कौन से नहीं यूज करना चाहिए। जो बच्चे अभी ऑनलाइन पढ़ सकते हैं उनके लिए, जो पढ़ नहीं सकते, जिनके पास डिवाइस नहीं है, जिनके पास सुविधा नहीं है, इनके लिए भी आपने बहुत कुछ बताया। एक्चुअली अभी पूरे भारत में, यानी कि हमारे सामने शिक्षण व्यवस्था के सामने दो प्रॉब्लम्स है। एक सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है कि ऐसे कुछ स्टूडेंट्स है, ऐसे कुछ बच्चे हैं जिनके पास डिवाइस नहीं है, टूल्स नहीं है, वो ऑनलाइन नहीं पढ़ सकते, ये रियलिटी है। और ये रियलिटी हम छुपा नहीं सकते। तो आज आपने बहुत ही अच्छा मार्गदर्शन सभी भारतवासियों को किया, क्योंकि ये जो प्रोग्राम है, ये प्रोग्राम नेशनल लेवल पे रन हो रहा है। अभी दूसरा दिन है, तो कोई टीचर को मुझे बहुत कॉल आते हैं कि हमें लिंक नहीं मिल रही है, हमें वो वीडियो नहीं ओपन हो रहा है। अभी भी आप मुझे देख रहे हैं कि मैं लाइट में, यानी कि मैं अकेला बैठा हूँ, मुझे भी नेट का कवरेज का प्रॉब्लम है। फिर भी आपका प्रॉब्लम, आपका प्रोग्राम रन करने के लिए मैं भी थोड़ा बाहर, घर से बाहर आकर बैठा हूँ, क्योंकि नेट का, देहातों में नेट का प्रॉब्लम होता है। ये सब प्रॉब्लम तो सभी के सामने है, लेकिन इस प्रॉब्लम से भी, प्रॉब्लम से निकलकर हमें आगे जाना है और हमें कुछ करके दिखाना है। इस कोरोना पीरियड इज वेरी डेंजरस टू ऑल वर्ल्ड। इसीलिए मैं आपको सबको धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ। और ये जो एटीएम और निशंक ने जो ये शिक्षण संवाद जो सेशन चालू किए हैं, ये ऐसे ही चालू रहेंगे। कल का सेशन थोड़ा अलग रहेगा। आज का सेशन मैंने खुद क्योंकि मुझे भी नदीम सर को सुनना था कि नदीम सर इज अ स्टार्टर मैन ऑफ महाराष्ट्र। मैं तो कहूंगा कि पूरे देश के स्टार्टर मैन है, किसी 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 भी क्षेत्र में जाइए। आज का जो सेटअप जो है, उन्होंने रात को कल रात 12:30 बजे उन्होंने सेट किया, और जब सेट किया हम दोनों ने, तब हम दोनों सोए थे, क्योंकि हमें फेसबुक पे आना था, जूम से फेसबुक आना था, जूम से यूट्यूब आना था। लेकिन आज थोड़ा टेक्निकली प्रॉब्लम से वजह से हम आज यूट्यूब पे नहीं जा सके, लेकिन कल हम श्योर यूट्यूब और फेसबुक दोनों पे जाएंगे। और कल का सेशन जो है, कल का सेशन थोड़ा अलग रहेगा। कल का सेशन जो है, सेशन का नाम कल के है, एक मिनट मैं बताता हूँ आपको। कल के स्पीकर जो है, कल के स्पीकर है, कल का सेशन का नाम है, मैं आपको नाम पहले बताता हूँ। हाउ टू मेंटेन कन्वर्सेशन बिटवीन चिल्ड्रन एंड पेरेंट्स। माता पिता और बच्चों के बीच संवाद कैसे बनाए रखे। ये हमने थोड़ा अलग, क्योंकि हम इस सेशन में सिर्फ ऑनलाइन ऑनलाइन टेस्ट या वीडियो ऐसा कुछ नहीं, तो टीचर्स के लिए, पेरेंट्स के लिए, बच्चों के लिए ऐसा कुछ हम लेके जाएंगे कि जिनसे ब्रेन वॉश हो जाएगा, जिससे प्रेरणा मिलेगी, काम करने का प्रोत्साहन मिलेगा और दिशा मिलेगी। और कल के जो हमारे गेस्ट है, वो गेस्ट है राकेश पटेल फ्रॉम गुजरात। ये गुजरात से राकेश पटेल कल हमारे गेस्ट होंगे। और उनके बारे में मैं थोड़ा अभी बताता हूँ कि वो बीओएस मेंबर ऑफ गुजरात स्टेट है, बीओएस मेंबर है गुजरात स्टेट के, मेंबर ऑफ गुजरात स्टेट मॉनिटरिंग प्लानिंग कमेटी के भी मेंबर है वो। आईसीटी नेशनल टीचर अवार्डी है 2016 के, और नेशनल टीचर अवार्डी है 2017 के। और उनका स्कूल जो है, उनका स्कूल मस्ती की पाठशाला नाम से जाना जाता है गुजरात में। तो हम कल का जो प्रोग्राम है, कल का प्रोग्राम कल 7:10 तक PM रात को हम गुजरात से राकेश भाई पटेल को हम सुनेंगे। और सब्जेक्ट जो है, सब्जेक्ट भी बहुत अलग है कि माता पिता और टीचर्स, माता पिता और बच्चों का कैसा कन्वर्सेशन होना चाहिए, उनसे बातचीत कैसी होनी चाहिए कोरोना पीरियड में, इसके बारे में हमने सेशन रखा है। आज के सेशन के लिए मैं आपको सभी को, और नारायण सर को, उमेश ज्योति, इन सबको, क्योंकि ये जो प्रोग्राम चल रहा है मेरे वजह से नहीं चल रहा है, क्योंकि इसके पीछे पूरा सिस्टम चल रहा है। कोई किसी को कोई दिक्कत आती है, कोई कमेंट देख रहा है, कोई टेक्निकली इशू सॉल्व कर रहा है, मैं भी यहाँ बैठा हूँ। तो आप सभी का फिर एक बार धन्यवाद देना निशंक और एक्टिव टीचर्स महाराष्ट्र, इन दोनों परिवार की तरफ से आप दोनों को धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ। और आज का सेशन मैं यहाँ पे खत्म करता हूँ। धन्यवाद।
Thank you. Thank you, Dada. Thank you, Nadim sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.